How's everybody doing? This is Wilson Feliciano from Meetings of the Minds. Alongside of me, I have a great guest here by the name of Jonathan Calderon, also known as JC. If you haven't heard from him, it's time for you to tap in. One of the most innovative new investors in our new generation. Not only he's a day trader, but he's a forex expert. Okay, a person that takes finances and financial freedom to another level. And he does it for the sake of the culture and obviously for himself in the futures to come. And I do appreciate you tuning into the show. Um,
Thank you for having me, bro.
Jonathan partnered with Trading Academy 7 years ago, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And ever since, he's been working on advanced market movements, strategies, currency market, and stock markets. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, the reason why we're having this show today is to highlight Hispanic Heritage Month, right? I believe that is important for us to recognize and put emphasis into our culture, right? And I say, coming from urban cities, we grow up with black and brown communities, right? And this is by all means not taken away from anybody in the world or anybody across the states or the cities, um, mainly where we come from. But for the world that's tapping in and listening to us, um, statistically, when it comes to financial literacy, the number speaks for themselves,
Absolutely.
which means that our people are not getting the level of education when it comes to financial literacy the way it should be, right? So, coming into this specific month, I want to highlight the brown community because it is important for us as people that are getting highly educated in that sector, right? To have the ability and put ourselves in a platform where we can serve the people and we can educate them, right? So, us as traders, right? We have plenty of things that we have in common, right? Um, when our parents came to this country, right, they came to the country of the free, right,
Yeah.
where there's a lot of opportunities. They come here, and then they face reality in terms of the long hours that they have to work to provide for their family, the struggles because they might not know the language or they need the time to learn the language, right? And then they have their kids, right? Now they got to raise their kids in the USA, right? But they have a mentality where let's go get that money. Let's work 16 hours a day because we got to make this money to make sure that we take care of our kids, right? But um some of them probably didn't get the education that they needed to because of their circumstances where they came from, right? So now you coming up in that era and being part of the new generation in America, right? What propelled you and what motivated you to take it upon yourself to get educated in finances and trading when that's something that we don't learn in school? That's something that's not taught. What motivated you to get into that?
So I'm a sibling of three from my mother's side. So I had an older brother. His name is Steven, younger sister, Melissa Calderon. I remember being jealous of both of them.
Mhm.
My sister, the first niece, my aunt was spoiling her. And then my older brother was the first son. My mom spoiled him. But no one was spoiling me. You know what I mean? No one. Jonathan had to wait for birthdays and Christmas. But every other weekend, these two are getting gifts. You know what I mean? So I remember that one time I I asked my mom to buy me a pair of sneakers. She told me to go get a job.
Mhm.
14 years old. And that's exactly what I did that same night. I went straight to the grocery store, the bodega down the street.
Yeah.
I asked him if he's looking to hire anybody, hire me on the spot. Started making my own money. At a young age, started making earning money. I was paying my phone bill. I was buying my own clothes and things like that. And it was a blessing and a curse at the same time. It was a blessing because I'm learning about money at a young age, learning how to be responsible with money at a young age. Um, but I got money hungry, right? I got addicted to making money. I got addicted to working, and it wasn't until my mom passed away, and from the age of 14 to 18, you know, I didn't. I didn't really build any memories with my mom, and it really crushed me. So I
Mhm.
asked myself the question, what kept me away from spending time with my mom? You know what I mean? And I remember them inviting me to the water parks, to the lakes, to the beach, to Six Flags, and all of this stuff. All I wanted to do was just work, make and earn money. And and it came into a conclusion where it was like, I saw my boss more than I saw my mom. I saw my coworkers more than I saw my family. And I asked myself the question, like, is this how life's going to be? You know, this can't be it. There has to be something else,
There has to be a way
right?
out.
I need to find something that allows me to spend time with my friends and family members, and also allow me to earn money, right? I had no knowledge of entrepreneurship at that age, at 17. Um, I wasn't in that. I mean, I was an athlete. I ran track in high school,
Nice.
and I was really good. Got a scholarship. I was going to get a scholarship at Berkeley's, and right after mom passed away, I had to get a full time job. So I have nobody to support that dream for
So
me.
that gave you like an appetite to learning more about how to get money. I mean, getting learning how to get money initially is how we're brought up is like go to work, make money. You know, at what point in your life you made that transition past the hustle, right? Because obviously by the sound of it, you was a hustler at a young age, and you learn how to get it. And subconsciously or consciously, your mother implemented that seed in your mind. You want something, you got to go get it, right? And at what point in your life did you make that transition to get into trading? And where you seen the opportunity at hand, like what was it that you experienced that triggered that other level of hunger into the trading field?
It wasn't until I came across somebody that saw the how can I say, the work ethic in me, right? He saw the potential. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
He saw the potential in me. Guy, I didn't know him from a can of paint. I knew his brother, you know, and he was trying to recruit me into this network marketing company.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of companies out there that was
At
trying
that
to
time,
recruit. Yeah, 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 yeah. But you
Crown
know,
America.
to me, to me, it seemed exciting, but at the same time, I wasn't interested, right? Because I wasn't educated on learning how to become an entrepreneur or a
Yeah.
networker in general. So I wasn't in it. But it was this guy, man. I remember his name, Xavier Perez, Joseph Xavier Perez. And shout out to him. He's actually a fitness trainer and exporter, an e-sporter in Lodi.
Is he a personal trader, or he has his own business, or that's where he trains?
He's a personal trainer.
Personal trainer. Where can we find him?
He's in Lodi and e-sporter.
East Sparta. Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. And he did the presentation and all. And I said I liked it, but I didn't have the money, which I did. But I didn't want to invest because I didn't know what I was doing. And he said, you know what? Because I see the potential in you, I am going to invest in you. And I'm like, wow. Like I never came across that. I never had a friend or a family member said that to me ever. And this guy don't know me from a can of paint. He said he was gonna invest in me. And all I have to do was just follow the instructions and I get paid.
Yeah.
I said, excuse me. I said, okay. So from there, that's when I started learning about entrepreneurship, started learning about networking, started learning about presenting. I never presented in school. I always took the zero in school. And I was just networking. I was just meeting a lot of people around the world that, were just like us, right? Like,
Inspired you.
yeah, inspired me. These guys were making, growing up in our neighborhood, everybody wants to make six figures a year, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's striving to make six figures a year. But then I
Absolutely.
came across these people young, making 10, 15, $20,000 a month. And I'm just like, whoa, that is interesting.
Yeah, it's real money right
Yeah.
there.
So I started building relationship with these guys. I wanted to know what was different.
It is a big
It's a
difference.
big difference. So what is different about you guys? What do you guys do different?
Mhm.
And they say they do what is uncomfortable.
Mm.
And I said, what is that? They said, we read. we, re-
Reading is important.
we read books. He said we focus on goals, we write them down. I said, really? That's that simple? I was like, it can't be that simple. He said, you'll see when you start doing it. And fast forward, did couple companies where we had to sell like a product to make money and things like that. You had to recruit in order for you to make money. So I was passionate about that. I love people. I love networking and building relationship. But not everybody's like that.
It's not under everybody. It's
No,
not
it's
for
not.
everybody.
It's not for everybody. So I needed to find something that was for everybody. And I came across the foreign exchange market. A company came, was an academy. They was teaching people how to invest their money from basic all the way up to advanced. And I'm like, let me go to one of these presentations. And you're basically learning a skill set that can never be taken away from you, right? You learn the skill set and you can take it anywhere around the world. You don't have to speak to nobody and you can earn a living or you can earn a fortune. And I was like, that's golden. I need to learn this, not just for myself, so that I could bring it back to the community.
And you just said it right there. I mean, very important, you know. That's the whole premise of what we're gonna get into today because unfortunately, you know, again, our educational system does not teach you that. They teach us how to be consumers, purchasers, um, you know, absorb our minds into this is the next hot thing. Um, you know, we invest in so many companies in terms of the things that we perceive to want to need every day, but then again, we don't own any type of stocks on that product. You know, how much equity do you have on that company that you're buying every year? Prime example, Apple, right? Samsung, Nike, all products that we wear on a daily basis, right? You know, and I think it's important for our people to know that there's a lot of information that they're not getting. Uh, they're not getting from their education system or from their surrounding areas or their environment. There's many ways of making money, and trading and investing is one of the major ways because if you think about, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, they have it like that." Well, a lot of a lot of family members in this country have generational wealth. That means that their their parents passed along generational wealth, which means that they had a head start in life, right? And now, as long as you teach your kids to know exactly what to do with that money that comes and passes over to them, then it can only double, triple, and so on and so forth, you know? So these are things that need to be implemented into our society. Um, knowing what you know now and looking at how things are growing in our community, in the brown community, and as a Latin American, how do you perceive the new era now, the new generation? I know things are I feel like when it comes to financing or finances and trading and investing, it is a discussion. It's trending on social media more than ever. And I feel like certain peoples and certain organizations have opened the door, right? Now, it wasn't like that before, but it is kind of like that now. But I feel like there's still a push that needs to happen, right? Where do you feel we're going and what direction we're going, whether it's the stock market or crypto exchange or even forex? You know, what direction you think we're going with that in terms of the ability of learning it and then actually executing it?
Absolutely. So what I see in the future, um, I see cryptocurrency, right? I see digital money. I see us not using physical dollars, right? It's like what happened in China, where you know they changed the way they use their currency, right? They don't no longer use paper money. They don't use fiat anymore. Everything is digital. But then you have those that don't know how to use technology and trying to go grocery shopping and doing all these things. And when it's time to pay, they don't know how to pay, right? Because all they know is paper money. right? So if you don't start now transitioning to, taking a step by step and learning how to um invest your money pretty much, because you got to convert your money sooner or later, because we're moving into we're already in the digital world. We just haven't fully moved in. Exactly. So when it's that time, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do to prepare yourself and your family? Because if you're not learning right now, you're literally preparing yourself and your family for failure, pretty
Yep,
much.
you're missing the boat too.
Yeah.
You
And it's
know,
scary, man.
remember when
It's
there was the internet era?
Yeah.
What did they call? I forgot. It was back in
The
the
dot
2000,
com, I think they called it.
the dot com era,
Yeah.
right? I believe it was between the 99 2000. I think that was like the break off. Um, I want everybody to know that that's where we are right now. We are in that era, 99 2000, when the internet was introduced. At that time, I believe this is the new stage of that change. Digital change is happening right before our eyes. AI is an official thing that's going on. Is it to its full potential? No, not yet. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. If we don't get in tune with what's happening, we're going to feel very left behind. And in this platform and meetings of the minds, it is, I believe, our purpose to make sure that we inform everybody on crypto, market, investments, everything that's part of your world, everything that you're working so hard to make sure that you pass along generational wealth. Um, from dealing with technical analysis, fundamentals when trading, charting. There's a lot that goes into it. And by the way, if you guys ever need help or have any questions, uh, feel free to hit up Jonathan at any given time. He's the person to go to. Just tune into the show. Make sure that you guys always send us DM if there's anything specific that you guys want to talk about, or you want us to do some segments on. Just let it be known we're open. We want to educate our people, because it's important. Where we grew up at, there's there's a stigma of how we deal with money, and I feel like that. I don't. It's not about our people not wanting to save money, but saving money is one thing, and then investing money is a whole different thing.
Yes.
So if you're putting your money in the bank in a savings account, it's just sitting there like dead water. It's not doing anything for you. You need to invest that money into stocks, ETFs, bonds, crypto, because inflation is driving the dollar. If you look at a dollar from the Federal Reserve, right? It's to me, it's like a blank certificate. It's telling you what it's worth, but is it really worth that? No.
No.
A dollar nowadays might be worth just maybe for an example, it's worth like 75 cents, maybe 60 cents. So you mean to tell me that while you're thinking you're saving a whole dollar in the bank, it's not worth what it is, right? So wouldn't you want to invest? Let's say you had $5,000 in your savings account, right? Are you okay with your $5,000 becoming now $4,500 or maybe $4,000? I don't think that you need to look at things like that. So I would rather see my money accumulate anywhere from 7 to 9% in the market, right? Where it's making money while it's sitting and you're going to keep accumulating, right? So, these are just simple little things that I try to embed in people mind that are around me. And obviously, I'm saying it here because I want people to be aware of that. Open up your Roth IRA, max out your 401k, but make sure that your employers are matching that. Because if they're not matching it, then is the 401k really working for you? Sometimes everybody dwells on 401k plans, but the 401k plans, yeah, are you getting pre tax benefits? Yeah, you are. But is it really performing better than a stock, crypto, or a Roth IRA, right? Is it really performing better than that? If they're not matching it, then you might want to consider some other options, right? So now, a lot of the things that you just mentioned make a lot of sense. Um, what type of when you're trading, right? And you wake up every day in the morning early to study the market, to read. to have that tranquility, that one-on-one with yourself. Um, you know, what are some of the things or maybe a tip or two that you can give people to help them get into that mode, like to get into that circle of comfort with themselves? Um, how do you get that inner power to do that every morning when you wake up and get ready for the market? What did you suggest for them to do? Like, when it comes to that,
You see, with me is I already have a lot of friends that are very successful, day traders, swing traders, So for me, right there, they're my motivation because it's possible. I've seen them at their worst before, to where they had nothing to even pay their rent,
Yeah,
for their families. I've been there for them, and to see that transition of them waking up every morning and focusing on, I have to learn this, or not even I have to, I get to learn this because I choose to. You get what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
not like I have to. I chose to.
because it's always there,
It's always
but
there.
it's your
It's
decision.
always been there.
Yeah,
So you have the opportunity to wake up and learn, look at the markets, understand it, place a few trades here and there, save some of that money so that when it's time for you to go full time,
yeah,
it's not a hesitation. So they are my motivation, man. And my daughter as well too. I want to spend more time with my daughter. I don't spend that much time with my daughter because I have to work.
indeed.
I got to provide. So if I can focus on something that can give me that time freedom to be able to spend time with my daughter, I'll take it.
Yeah. So that's the I think that's the goal, right? Is to free up your time so you can do other things. Just like an important part of your life is to spend time with your kid, right? Have that time with them whenever. Control your schedule, right? Wake up in the morning, do your trading, then move on with the rest of your day and get into other things and maybe start up a business, or
100.
whatever the case may be.
That time that I missed out spending it with my mom because all I wanted to do was just work. You know, it still it still plays how can I say it? It still has a toll on me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I can only imagine.
It still has a toll on me. That was 11 years ago. You get what I'm saying? And I still feel that. And when I see my daughter, it's like I am not going to let work get in the way. No way. Said it happened with my mother, it's not going to happen with you. Absolutely not.
So to all the parents out there that are working very hard, working long hours, make sure that we take the time to slow down a little bit, look at our schedules, make time for your endeavors, your entrepreneurship, but don't lose focus of your kids. Ideally, as parents, we care for our kids, we provide for them, we give them food, we put clothes in their backs, all of that, right? And we want the best for them. But it's important for us to put that time in with them because, especially at the early stages of their lives, right? It's very lucrative for us to be there for them because remember, they are the next generation, right? Now, talking about our kids, right? Because just like you're a dad, I'm a dad. Um, I know that I've set up different accounts for my kids, right? I have a 2-year old and an 11-year old. Um, and I'm assuming that you've probably I'm already it to me it's like we're on the same page. So what are some of the accounts that you would suggest parents to open up for their kids, for them to start acquiring generational wealth down the road on their early side of things and then moving along as they become adults, right? Because obviously people like ourselves that are in that finance field, we know what is it that we got to do with our money, but it is, I believe, important for our as parents for us to set up our kids. What are maybe one or two things that you can think that you can suggest for parents to get into for their kids?
So the number one thing that's a no-brainer, and like I share this with all my friends and all the parents that I come across to,
Yeah.
is life insurance.
Mhm.
Life insurance is very, very important. Yeah, you could get it from work or whatever, but if you get fired, then that life
The life is
insurance
not
got
there. It's not life no
you
more.
know. So get life insurance separate from your job.
Okay.
Okay, get life insurance separate from your job. Based on my experience, when my mom passed away, we didn't have any money to bury my mom. My mom didn't leave any money to bury her. We didn't have it, and Shout out to my life insurance agent, John Polanco. Um, he brought it to my attention. He said, "Do you remember that moment where it was time to bury your mom? Did you guys have that? Did you know what to do?" And I said, "Absolutely not." And this question right here, he said, "Would you want your daughter to go through that too?" And I said, "Absolutely not." He said, "That's why you need life insurance."
That makes all the sense in the world. Please, please, my people, you never know when our day is coming. And I say that with, I don't say it because I want to make anybody sad, or I say it because you never will know what's going to happen. We can drive out of our current location, something happens to us. What do we do? How is our family going to be affected by that? What are they going to do after that? You know, if you have businesses, if you have real estate, if you have investments, one of the things that I will say is start looking into getting a trust. You want to be able to put your businesses, all your assets, your investments under that trust. So therefore, when it's time to move it over to your kids, they don't have to pay all those taxes on those investments. Those are a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. Trust is a very important thing. Please do your research. We will continue to highlight those type of conversations in the show, but I just wanted to throw that out there, okay? Because we're so caught up in the middle of our hustle, right? Just like we previously had said, right? We're so involved in the hustle, and our parents were so involved with the hustle that we forget about thinking about the hypotheticals. You gotta be, you know how they say,
No, and I wouldn't say forget. I should say we just get distracted.
there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. I
Just
wouldn't say forget because none of us gonna forget our kids, obviously. But
no, right. Uh, We get distracted, right? It's subconsciously where our kids are always there. They're always there. We mean all good by our kids. But the truth of the matter is that we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So we got to be prepared, and know exactly what to prepare your family and your kids and even your significant other aware of the next step and what to do, and know what's coming their way to alleviate the stress and the headaches that come, and the anxiety and all that stress that's going to come along with you worrying about burying your significant other or a family member, God forbid. And these are important things to know. And life insurance play a big part, like you said. It takes care of you and your family. If you ever get disabled, you get hurt, you're not able to work. A portion there's a verbiage in the contract of your life insurance, depending on how it's set up, because you got whole and you got term, that's gonna pay you a percentage of your wage on a monthly basis until you get better from your conditions. That's another thing that a lot of people don't know. And I want you guys to know that you also accumulate cash value in your life insurance, which you can utilize towards any future endeavors, whether it is maybe purchasing a home for the first time, right? Or you can let it sit there and it might be accumulating some type of interest, right? At whatever level you want to accumulate it at, right? And that's pretty much it. And it's like, these things I didn't know about it back when I was 20 years old, a teenager. I didn't even think about this stuff. So now that I'm a little older now and I have more experience, right? Age is one thing, but experience is another, right? So it's not even about what age you are. Forget about age. It's all about here in your mind, right? It's all in the mental, is what you are preparing yourself to take in, educate yourself in, so you can prepare yourself for the future. Now, when you look at the market, right?
before we get into that, I would just want to give them a pointer on life insurance.
Okay,
If you're a young parent, I highly suggest you lock in as soon as possible because the younger you are, the healthier you are, the lower the rate.
very true. That's actually a good point.
Yes,
You're completely right about that.
the lower the rate. So you make sure if you're healthy, you don't have no problems. Make sure you lock in that rate because once you start getting older, you start developing these type of um high blood pressure conditions and stuff like that, the rates do go
Yeah.
high. The rates do
And
go
if you're
high.
I
So
believe if you're like if you're a smoker too, right? They assess all of that because they send out a test for you to make sure that you're in the healthiest conditions or vice versa. And they will modify the policy based on how you are health wise. And yeah, do yourself a favor. Like, we spend money on a daily basis on things that we don't need.
yeah, you'll be surprised how cheap it really is.
That's what I'm saying. If you break things down on a daily basis, it won't be as much as you think. I remember somebody telling me, "Will, I'm only paying like $85 a month for I got a $250,000 policy." Okay, while other people maybe have a bigger one or whatever the case may be, that's all good and set for them. But $250,000 is $250,000. That's $250,000. That's a lot of money. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit. I know that we're in a different era, and money has equated to different levels. And yeah, I get it. You got to make more money nowadays. They say, oh, now if you can retire if you were able to retire at 1.2, 1.5, you got to have $3 million. I think it's all about your lifestyle, right? It's all predicated on your lifestyle, right? So, just be mindful of that. So, a lot of good pointers, man. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more onto the life insurance, or have we given them
And
enough?
one last thing, this one is a tough conversation because I still haven't done it yet, but I know I have to.
Yeah.
I know I have to, and it's to get life insurance for my daughter.
Mm,
You know, and it's tough because as a parent, you don't want to think about that.
yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, I get it. It's a tough conversation to have or even think of, but it's you're doing it for her own good. You're doing it for her own good. Yeah, we're dads. We're the protectors. Yeah. Hi daughters. Hi baby, how you doing? I'm here for you and dad is here for you. We're here for you. That's why we work hard. We work hard for them. And obviously we work hard for our household. But we work hard for them because they are the next generation. And talking about the next generation, um, you know, a lot of older people. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it like this. Older generation, right? They criticize the new generation. You ask me, they're different smart. Oh, why they doing that? They don't know what hard work is. They don't know what this is. But no, they do know what hard work is. They understand it. They seen it, but they also seen you guys work 15 hours a day. They just happen to have more options. Kids nowadays have more options and they can do a little bit less and make more. So there's nothing wrong with that
or have
because
fun and make more.
right, you can go on a social media platform and make money. Just monetize your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube and you're making money,
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
So go for it. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. I have a UTMA account, and by the way, parents, aside of the life insurance and investments for our kids, a UTMA account is a perfect account that you can allow your kids to invest money at an early stage, and they in the state of New Jersey, account transfers over to them at the age of 18 or 21,
Cool.
depending on what state you're in, right? And one of the things that I would say, and I'm gonna go based off my experiences, I will tell parents, um, give your kid options. Open up, be mindful of what they want to do in life. Our parents was like, go to college, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a cop. And I'm not saying anything that's nothing wrong with any of that because I have police officer friends. And by the way, I want to shout out the police department, all the officers that are serving our country, all the military veterans that have served our country. Respect to you all. With the good is the bad, and with the bad is the good.
Yeah.
If my kid, with the funds that I'm accumulating for her at an early age, and when she goes 18 and 21, I tell her, I'm okay with you starting up a business. I'm okay with you utilizing that money and buying your first property because I am teaching my kid little by little in puzzles about financial literacy. That's my duty. If this, I'm not going to wait for school to teach her that because they're not. then it's not going to happen, right? So I have a job as a dad to teach her that. So UTMA account, guys, look it up. It's a great investment. You can do UTMA or you can do a 529 account for your kids. And the 529, I believe it's is as long as you use it for educational purposes, you don't pay taxes on the gains or the initial investments. The UTMA account, I believe you only pay you don't pay no initial taxes, but you pay a small tax predicated on their tax level at that time when they go into their account, and it's all on capital gains, right? So other than that, the regular investment, they don't get taxed. But they're not forced to use it for educational purposes. So you see the 529, if they don't use it for educational purposes, then you're gonna get hit with fees and charges. UTMA, you can do whatever you want, right? So again, your kid can either again invest the money into whatever they want to do, business, real estate, or they can just turn it around and reinvest it back into the market, and then they can retire by the age of 30, 40,
That's it.
right? Because the money's going to keep compounding,
That's it.
right?
Passive income
Your
right
baby
there.
girl is at this age. How old is your daughter?
She's 6 years old.
6 years old. Beautiful. She's accumulating money from this point, or even I'm pretty sure you have already funds prior to that. But from this age to the age she's 21, and then imagine her just turning that money and putting it back in the market, and then waiting until 40 years old. She's she's kicking up. She's an entrepreneur like her dad,
That's right.
a business person, kicking, traveling the world. No worries. The money's working for her. She's not working for money.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you won't believe me, but I remember her watching me, looking at charts, and I was analyzing, right? And she wakes up, she's like, "Hey, daddy." She's like, "What are you doing? That looks cool, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is called trading." She's like, "Ooh, I want to learn." I was like, "You really want to learn?" She's like, "Yeah, I want to be a trader like you." I was like, "Look, okay,
proud moment,
yeah."
proud
I
dad.
was so proud, and I'm like, "Okay, so this is the deal." I said, "Focus more in in, in math, learn your numbers and your
Mm,
patterns. Once you get that done, daddy'll teach you how to trade."
I like that. I like that you didn't just jump into it. You're teaching her like already
No, no,
step
learn your
one.
numbers
Don't jump into step 5 or 6.
because that's what I fell in love with numbers in high school. Um, actually, eighth grade before I graduated middle school, I had this math teacher, Miss April. She got married. Her name's changed, but whatever. She made me love math. And then coming into high school, I went to Panther Academy, and all the classes from literally from freshman year to senior year, all I took was all math classes, algebra, algebra two, chemistry, AP, physics, AP physics. Like I learned all of that, but my number one was geometry. I fell in love with geometry. I fell in love with the triangles and the angles and stuff like that. So I remember having a teacher called Mr. Salama, and he had like an accent. So he would come in front of the room and in front of the classroom, and he'll teach, but no one
Hmm.
understands. But me and one of my friends, her name is Jeanette. We understood what he was saying. So me and her will learn it, and then we'll get in front of the room and we'll try to teach it. And I
Yeah.
remember my friends, man, they're like, "Hey, Jonathan, get up from the front of the room, man. You ain't gonna do anything with that. You're not gonna make any money with that." And you know, years later, 2016 come, foreign exchange market comes, and then it's called what's it called? Market geometry.
Mm.
And then I saw the harmonic patterns, and it was just like I fell in love. And I was like, that it takes me back to that classroom. I'm like, you know what? You was right. I'm not gonna make any money. I'm gonna make fortunes.
Just when you think that school is not gonna, certain things that we learn in school is not gonna come into play when we get older, it does.
It does. You just gotta be aware of it. You just gotta be aware.
Even though I have, excuse me, I have different uh, point of views when it comes to education because believe that the education system in the USA is another business, especially when it comes to colleges, university. I mean, these kids are leaving school; they have these tremendous big debt. I mean, it's like hindering over them, and if they don't get in position to be able to handle that, it becomes a stress or a cloud over them. right? So talking about trading and your daughter being interested in learning charts and all of that, are they any specific tools and resources that you recommend traders looking to improve their skills?
So from the beginning, what I would say is learn about the market first. There's free websites out there. One of them that I recommend, which is a fun read, is babypips.com. I don't know if you heard of that one, but they go on babypips.com, they start learning like the basics. Learn the basic about money, foreign exchange, right? The forex is short for foreign exchange, right? And I used to I used to cringe and laugh at the same time when people say forex is a scam. Forex is short for foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, if you ever traveled outside of the country, right? And these countries use their own currencies, right? And you exchange your dollars for their currency, that is called foreign exchange.
Change.
Now, foreign exchange is the way the world moves around, the
Mm,
currency moves around. Without foreign exchange, there is no stocks. So when people say Forex is a scam, it's like, okay, you just don't know. You
you
just
don't
don't know.
know.
You
You're
just,
miseducated
yeah,
or misinformed.
you just don't know, and I just brushed it off, man. People used to call me a scammer, man.
Yeah. Hey man, let me be I mean perceived to be a scammer, but my pockets are not scammy. You know, they're real. Like I'm making real legit organic money.
Yeah, I'm not taking money from people, you know, and it's Forex is not a scam. It's just people leveraging a system where people want to learn how to invest their money. And, some of us just wanted the easy route. They want to make money without learning it. So, these scammers, they come up with these stories and be like, hey, if you send me, this much, never send no money. Don't ever send anybody any money on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere,
Yeah, don't do it to
ever.
yourself.
Don't do it to yourself. If you really want to benefit in this market, um, learn yourself. It is more beneficial if you learn yourself than you have somebody else training your money.
Yeah. Be independent. I mean, for the people that have opened up brokerage accounts, whether it's with Vanguard, Fidelity, so on and so forth, there's ways of you actually doing it yourself. We will be going over very soon in the show here about how to open up accounts, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, and how to fund them as an individual, as a person, right? Instead of having somebody do it for you because they give you the option. But it's like sometimes you want to be able to maneuver your you want to know what's going on with your investments, right? And even though there's other people that can handle it for you, is like who else is going to know more about how to handle your money the way you want it to be handled. Now, granted, I know that there's certain things that you want to learn about and you don't have an understanding about, but allow us to be able to provide that information to you guys because it's very important. Now, what are some of the ethical considerations in trading, especially in today's global financial market? Right? Do you think cryptocurrency and blockchain technology has a significant play in the future of trading? And in what way, in your perspective, do you see that happening?
Because of the blockchain, there's so many platforms being created through the blockchain, right? There's so many companies. So where there's companies, there's going to be cryptos, and all of that ties in together. Just like if there's a country, there's a currency, right? And you can trade that currency based on the market fluctuating. Same thing is going to happen with these new crypto platforms and crypto companies. They're going to have their own markets in the cryptocurrency market and the blockchain, and you'll be able to invest your money into those companies, etc. So the blockchain is gonna be, to me, I feel like the blockchain is gonna be the new stock market pretty much.
Yeah. And I feel like it's only gonna I feel like because they have smart contracts, right? It's some of the things that if you guys look into crypto and the essence of crypto, smart contracts are gonna be independent contracts between two parties or many parties, no middleman, no middle individual, no nothing. Between you and I, like people are gonna legit be able to do a real estate transaction through the blockchain. This is what I'm selling the house for. This is what I'm gonna buy it for. You want to buy it with this fiat or you want to buy it with crypto?
You have certain countries that like McDonald's and other franchises that accept payment in cryptocurrency.
Right now.
Yes, right now.
Get that.
You have countries right now accepting it. There's something I wanted to mention earlier too about when we were talking about the dollar,
Yeah.
right? Um, I remember having a conversation with I don't remember who it was, but I remember having this conversation when the guy was like, "What backs up Bitcoin?"
Mm.
Right? Like nothing backs up Bitcoin. It doesn't have any value, and da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay, so what backs up the dollar? Nothing. Nothing backs up the dollar. Where you gold used to be backed up.
It was a standard, right?
Yeah,
It was a gold
it was
standard.
back in the 1973. But President Nixon took the gold standards out of the dollar. So the dollar is worthless. What gives the dollar value? We do,
Yep.
right? We
Mhm.
do. The fact that we accept payment as paper money, that's how Bitcoin receives its value
Mhm.
because people receives it as payment. And the more people receive it, the more the value of Bitcoin goes up. So that's what back it up. So we have the power.
The people.
The people. We
And
have
that's
the
what they're
power.
scared of.
Yes.
They're scared of that.
Yeah, they are.
They're really scared of that. They don't that's why the government keeps fighting it, but I'm sorry.
They want to know everything, bro.
As a Bitcoin investor, and I know you are, um, I see the future in it. I have faith in it. I am invested into it, and I will continue to invest into it because I want to say this based on some of the homework that I've done. Bitcoin is a digital asset, digital property, and it's like over it. And and if you guys don't know this, I'm letting you know right now. Bitcoin is a digital asset, right? It's a digital property. It's beyond of what we perceive it to be. Oh, like is that going to be the new currency? Not necessarily. It's bigger than that. It's international. It's worldwide, right? Think about it. We were talking on the earlier side about how you invested into Bitcoin when it was $1,000.
Yes.
Bitcoin went as high as
Yeah.
$70,000. That's insane, you know. So the same people that are criticizing Bitcoin, right? Obviously, the government or a lot of politicians or people in Washington are not in favor of that. The same people that are criticizing are going to be the same people behind the scenes buying it when it drops. They're not. Come on, people. Let's wake up. Let's
They
really
put in the fear in us
right.
to not do it or to pull our money out
Yeah.
so that they can buy it at a price that they're interested in.
Right.
And then they buy it in, and then what happens? You took your money out
Mm-hmm.
too early, right? And then they buy in and they shoot the price 10, 100x. And then what happens to you? You get all depressed. Why? Because you pull out too early.
Yep.
You missed out on profit.
Yep. And you missed the boat.
That's it.
And understand that Bitcoin is the future, and there's no way in or out about that. Please do yourself a favor and start investing in Bitcoin. I would say that I know that crypto is big and there's so many coins that you can get into or assets when it comes to cryptocurrency. Some of us are very aware of many of them. But to me, to keep it simple, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the head of the organization, right? And I'm pretty sure there's other ones that we can look into, but that's for another time
Yeah,
because crypto is pretty big.
it's big.
It's a big market, right? Big market cap. So Bitcoin and Ethereum is the head of the pack. And do yourself a favor, get that now because, or let's say they're projecting it to go as high as 500 Dow or eventually into a mill later on down. Come on, let's be real. I mean, you're gonna be like asking yourself, "Is like, damn, I wish I would have bought it when it was 15 or when it was 20 or even when it was 30." Like, come on, let's what was it? Not was it early this year or early last year in 2022 where Bitcoin went as low as 15, $14,000
Yeah,
and then it shot up back to 30. So that means that if you put $15,000 in and bought one Bitcoin in a matter of a couple of months, you would have doubled your money.
double that quick.
You would have made $30,000, right? So, um, again,
I get it with some people because I tell them if you do have money in a savings account, put it into crypto. Put it into crypto. Oh, but wouldn't the money fluctuate? I said, your money fluctuating anyways right
in
now.
any market.
You know what I mean? Like, even in a savings account, you gotta pay maintenance. You gotta
Yeah,
pay your maintenance fees. You
even your
gotta.
sometimes your maintenance fee is more than what you're actually accruing.
You know what I
You're
mean?
paying like 15,
So
$18 a month.
they tell you you get 0.000% or 0.0001% a year, but your maintenance fees, your monthly maintenance fees, is nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's more than what you're gonna get at the end of the year. You know what I mean? So I tell them, just put your money in in the crypto, leave it there, let it fluctuate. It's okay. Crypto's not gonna go anywhere. You know, it's not gonna go anywhere.
If you're saving your money for the long run, you shouldn't be worrying about the money anyway. It's not money that you're gonna look forward to spending, right? So just let it sit there. Let it make money for you.
Another reason I say that is because look at what happened back in 2008, the housing market,
Mm,
right? So many people lost their money, savings accounts, 401k, everything. Your money is not protected in the bank. As much as you think your money is protected, it's not protected. The moment there's a crash in the market, you have the possibility of losing your money, and there's no way of getting it back. There's no way of getting it back. I highly recommend you guys to watch the documentary called The Big Short. I don't know if you've seen that.
no, but I will now.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
watch that,
Big
bro.
Short.
Yeah, The Big Short. It's about what happened back in 2008.
Is it in Netflix?
It's on Netflix right now because of
Big Short.
The Big Short. Yeah,
Watch that, guys.
yeah.
Big Short. I'm gonna
Watch The
definitely
Big
catch up
Short,
in
and
that.
it's exactly what happened in 2008, man.
Yeah.
Where that's why it's so hard right now to get loans, right? Because back then they were just giving out loans like it was nothing.
Yeah.
People were buying homes and things like that.
That's when
They didn't
Wells.
even care if you worked or not. They didn't care.
Yeah. And guess who suffered out of that?
Yeah,
Our
our
communities.
community did. Yeah,
Because they were just lending money to them,
yeah,
knowing that they weren't qualified, unfortunately, at those times to be able to handle those mortgages.
yeah,
So connected people. Let's connect, my people. Don't get bamboozled by these officials, these people that put a tie on and that tell you, oh, you can do this, you can get into this, no problem. No money down, no problem. Read,
yeah.
do research.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, our parents, your kids, our friends, our colleagues are going to get affected by this.
Yes, we will.
Let's be smart. If you're not informed, tap into the show. Reach out to Jonathan, reach out to me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We want to continue to give you gems and steps and tips on what is it that needs to be done in order for you to educate yourself about all of these topics that we're touching bases on, because it's important for you guys to
Very
know
important.
on how to maneuver your finances and how to invest your money, whether it's crypto, the stock market, um, real estate, and all these endeavors that we're involved in. You have to be open to knowing, because you know how they say ignorant is bliss.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't always have to be that way.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be that way. So for for the month of Hispanic Heritage Month, I want to give a shout out to our brown community. Shout out to all of you guys. If you are Hispanic and you're a Latino American and you're working hard and you're starting up a business, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Keep going. Stay in rhythm. Don't let nobody around you, your environments, to tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
We're coming up. We're smarter. We're more intelligent now than ever. Don't let anybody tell you
Yeah.
otherwise. And we're on the come up. And we are part of that generation of that come up. We are part of that force that's going to not take any less than what we deserve.
Yeah.
We will set the tone. We are the people, that's going to cater to the people.
Yeah.
And, again, I just wanted to make sure that I point that
What I
out.
want to say to them too is like, um, it's okay if they don't believe. It's okay if they don't support. Just keep going, because when that day comes, I always knew you was gonna do it.
Yep.
so,
Yep.
so don't worry about it. Listen, I've been there. I've been there where I share this with my family and I try to get them to, to learn this with me, and they laugh. They call, like, again, they call me scammer. They tell me that's not gonna work. Go get a real job.
Yeah.
And things like that. But yes, uh, during those times where I was listening to them. It put me in a depression mode, But again, my hunger, my dream, it's what kept pushing me because I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And
Believe in yourself.
I just know when that time comes, hallelujah. You get what I'm saying? But I know it's coming. But right now, I am enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the process. I am, networking. I'm meeting new people that's going to get me to where I need to be.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
and just network, guys. Don't be stuck. Go out there, go meet new people, go to these conventions. I know a lot of people talk about conventions and stuff like that. Go, go, because the information that little information that you might be missing is at that convention. It might be one of the people speaking at the event, or it can be somebody you came across to in that event that you build a relationship with. You never know. But staying home doesn't do anything. You have to go out, go meet new people.
Change your environment.
Change it.
Check your circle.
Change it.
If they're not motivating you, inspiring you, they're not doing you any good.
Absolutely.
Stay inspired.
If you start a conversation about the future and the whole conversation deviates to something else, you shouldn't be there.
Period.
Not saying defriend them. You know what I mean?
No, it's
They
not
could
even
be
about that.
no,
You
they
can
could
love
still
people
be
from a distance.
yeah, they can still be your friend. They can still
Yeah.
be your circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you need to be around a circle where it's gonna get you to where you need to be. That dream needs to happen. That dream needs to happen. And
Absolutely.
we need you to make that dream happen.
And in a lot of cases, we got to step up.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's not relatable to everybody, but you got to step up
Yeah.
and be the one to pass along
Yeah.
that energy,
Absolutely.
that vibe.
That
Because
testimony, your story,
thank you.
the struggle that you're going through, someone needs to hear it so that they can push through it, you know? So there's a reason why we go through these challenges. There's a reason why we go through these struggles because we were chosen to go through it, succeed, and then share it with others. And this is exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're delivering it to the world.
100%.
Yeah. Well, listen, you heard it from the man. Jonathan Calderon, aka JC.
Yes, sir.
Where can people follow you?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, The Wolf on Market Street. Just follow me. Again, if you guys have any questions, you could DM me. And I am an open book. Whatever questions you guys have, if Wilson invites me here again, I'm open, bro.
It's gonna be not gonna be the last time you and I sit down. We're gonna be having we got some plans.
I'm looking
We're,
forward to it,
we're
man.
gonna we got plans to create a community and a legacy, an organization that's gonna be able to empower our people
Yes.
and anybody. Again, I want to highlight this again. It's like this show is for everybody. By all means, I do not want to create no isolation, but
No.
I do want to highlight our people
Yes.
respectfully in the presence of an important month, but not just the month, forever. I want our people to tune in, um, all the viewers tapping in to learn about all the things that we're talking about. If you're not, in essence, part of the culture of our culture, you're welcome to be part of our
Yes.
cultures. You want to dance some merengue, you want to dance some bachata, some salsa, you want some pernil or some arroz con
That's
gandules
right.
or some, mofongo, some plátanos maduros,
Los tres golpes,
los tres
baby.
golpes, let's eat it up. That's all these are all great things, shout out to the brown people, man. Shout out to my people in LA. I've been actually communicating and networking with some people in Los Angeles
Oh
on the
yeah.
West Coast.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna be working on some new things, So shout out to everybody in New Jersey, our hometown. Shout out
Yes.
to Patterson, our home and our community. But it's bigger than our communities in the world and the towns that we grew up in. This is a worldwide thing,
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes.
So we're gonna give gems and information to everybody. So once again, thank you a lot for tapping into Meetings of the Minds. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
This is beautiful, man. This is exactly what I've been wanting to do for since 2014. It's just to share it with everybody, and just let them know that it doesn't have to be the way you're going through right now. It could be a lot more. All we have to do is just find the right people, follow the instructions, and you will get to where you need to be.
Say no more. Heard the man. Let's get to it.